And now, RSM, the Rams Sports Magazine Show.
Welcome to RSM, Rams Sports Magazine Show. I'm your host, Anthony Keith. Now, over the weekend, the Rams may have dropped one of the Cougars. However, they showed they could go toe-to-toe with a top 10 team. So I'm going to start things off this week with a one-on-one interview with Wes Eichmeyer after he led the Rams with 25 points. Now, Wes, I got to know, sellout crowd, everything going on, you kept your focus, you got the 25 points. Do you feel like that was your most productive game of the season?
Yeah, probably so far. I mean, points-wise, offensively, I'm shooting it pretty good. My teammates did a great job of finding me all night. We found a couple gaps in their zone, and then when they kept switching up, I tried to stay aggressive. So, yeah, I mean, it was a good night offensively, just came up a little short.
Definitely. I mean, you nabbed a career high, and talking about offensively, it was back and forth. It was a battle of the offenses. Yep. Now, that game, what are you taking away from it? What did you learn from the loss?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is that, we can compete with BYU. If people doubted us before that night, I think they're going to have to take a second look at what we can do on the floor because, they got off to that first half lead of 15 points, and we showed that we could battle back and go toe-to-toe with them. So I think that's the biggest thing that our team and everybody else kind of took away from that.
You're still one of the younger guys on the team, a sophomore, also transferred from Iowa State, and you're part of that core, that Omaha, Nebraska core. And you guys are a young core. So what does this tell you for the future? I think it's an upside. I mean, we got some some ties that go way back, and we got a lot of team chemistry going on. I think people should be excited. Something people should be excited about, just for the fact that we're going to have a lot of guys returning, a lot of people that have been with Coach Miles for a while and know what he expects of us. So, I'm just really excited to be here and excited to be with all the guys that I've known for a long time. Definitely. Talking about that home crowd again, if you had a message to the crowd, for what they did for you guys there, sparking it up, what would it be?
I think from what I've heard, just people had a great time at the game, and it's something to be enjoyed and something to rally around the basketball team here at Colorado State. So I just think just the biggest thing is that it'd be fun to keep supporting that and keep playing in an atmosphere like that. And it's just better for everybody, better for the community, better for the college. So it's just really exciting.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Jimmer Fredette, let's be honest, is that dude human?
I mean, he's the real deal. I mean, he deserves all the accolades that he gets. He's worked really hard for everything that he's accomplished, and he's going to have a great career finishing out at BYU and probably past that. So, you can't not respect the guy just because of what he's done and what he's going to do. So.
Now, is it rough coming that close to competing and beating them, and then knowing, okay, this is the last season BYU's here?
Yeah. That's kind of disappointing. I mean, we kind of talk, all the guys kind of talk about that, but. That's something that's out of our hands and something that we can't control, and we're going to have some new teams that we're going to have to get used to in the Mountain West. So, we're all looking to the future. So, we're going to finish out, just take it one game at a time this year and finish out the year, and we'll go from there.
We're looking to the near future, obviously Air Force this week, but next week another top 10 team.
Yep.
San Diego State, now number 4 in the country. And I was actually just talking with Dwight. He feels you guys match up better with San Diego State. Yeah,
I think we do. I mean, last year I think statistically we showed that in the games that we played them, I think we played them 3 times last year, and it's just a really good matchup, and that game is going to almost be guaranteed to be a toe-to-toe matchup to the very end. So it's something we're all excited about. We know we can play with those guys, and it's a good opportunity for us to, once again prove ourselves on a national scale, on a national level. So we're excited about it.
Can we expect another game where you score in the 20s?
I don't know. If we get a W, I don't care if I get 0, but if we get the win, that's the biggest thing. And as a team, we got a lot of guys that can show up on any night, so that's a good thing to have for us. We got good depth and a lot of weapons, so hopefully we can keep a winning record in the conference play.
Definitely. Hey, I'm looking forward to that game. I'm sure all the fans are. I want to thank you so much for joining us on the show, Wes. Don't go anywhere, Rams fans, because I'm not done talking about that BYU game just yet. Coming up next on the show, I've got a one-on-one interview with Dwight Smith after he was held responsible for covering the nation's lead point scorer.
You're watching RSM, the Rams Sports Magazine Show on Northern Colorado 5.
Welcome back to the show, Rams fans. This week I'm joined by Dwight Smith of the men's basketball team. Now, that game on Saturday, Your responsibility covering the nation's leading scorer. Tell me, what was that like?
He's just a great player. I mean, I had to stay focused. The first half I didn't get in, but I knew my name was going to get called. A couple of my teammates told me to be ready all throughout the week and everything. But he's such a great player. His change of pace is so great. Like, I never played a player like that at all in my life. It was just so tough to guard, but I had to stay focused and maintain my thing. That's
a great experience to come away with, then, and as a freshman, too, that's huge. And a lot of people may not know this, but the night before, Adam Nigon was texting Coach, said, you know what, hey, I think we need Dwight in this game. And for a player, if he was going to do that, that mean he'd have to sit out. For him to do that, what's that mean to you?
For him to be our senior captain and leader, that's just, I mean, it's a big confidence booster for me, but for him to do that, I think it means everything. It shows how much of a team player he is to do that, to sit himself down in order for the team's success. I guess it's such a big thing for me. I got all the respect for Nigon for that.
Definitely. Looking back on that game, Saturday night, it was nationally, that was the most focused on game against BYU. You had a sold-out crowd here at Moby, all white. What was that experience like?
I mean, the fans didn't do that all year. I mean, I've never been anything like that. I mean, coming straight from high school, it's not even close to what it was. I mean, just looking around the arena, seeing everything, everyone cheering for you, helping you on, that's the big thing that got to us when I come back in that game also.
Coach Miles mentioned you were really the catalyst in the second half to get the team going. You guys were down by 19 at one point, and it is not easy fighting to come back, but you guys did it. You were within 2 scores at one point, and you were a big cause of that. And do you feel through your eyes that you kind of helped spark everything?
That's my main focus, to come in and get a spark. Me, my brother, we also do that. We kind of same role type of thing. It just depends on the game. Different players are going to get called. We're such a deep team that we just have to get ready and get called at our time. So just got to step up at the right moment.
I'm talking about that spark. You had a block on Jimmer. Now, how did that feel? Just kind of hitting that down, watching the ball fall. You guys got possession of it.
The thing before that is he had just hit a tough shot over me, so I was like, I got to get some type of momentum change. I think probably hit a 3 right before that or so. It was just a big momentum thing. We were coming back. We just needed that at that time. They got the crowd back into it and everything, so it was a good thing at the time. And it was a good thing for me knowing that I could do that against a player.
Now, he could hit the 3s, but so can you. You were in that game 1-for-1, Trey. It was a beautiful one. Got the crowd on their feet. I mean, again, going back to that catalyst, you sparking everything, how important is that to you?
It's just a big thing for our team. We need those, especially against good teams like that. BYU, San Diego State, there's going to be points where they make runs, we make runs. We just need players to step up at the time to comment what they do.
San Diego State coming up in a little over a week, and now they just moved up rankings. They're now number 4, I believe. And, them coming here, after your performance against BYU, how likely is it that you guys can take them?
Actually, we feel like we can match up better with San Diego State. The shooters that they have for BYU, they're great. Emory, of course, Jimmer, they're so great. But we play a packed defense, and I think San Diego State plays into what we do.
Could you have asked for a better freshman year, being in the conference that has these top-ranked teams, 2 that are in the top 10 past few weeks, and then you guys yourself are having a great, honestly, great season so far?
I mean, it's just a big thing for me. I think Maurice, also the other freshman, just getting the experience, playing with our players, Dorian, West, those guys we're going to have back next year. Just a big confidence booster for all of us.
Well, Dwight, I want to say great performance on Saturday. It was a rough one, but, you take from that and learn. If you think I'm done talking about that BYU game, you're wrong. Coming up next, I've got a recap, highlights, and post-game reaction. Stay tuned, Rams fans.
You're watching RSM, the Rams Sports Magazine Show on Northern Colorado 5.
In front of a sold-out crowd at Moby Arena, the Rams still weren't able to hold back the nation's lead scorer.
The crowd always made you feel like you were going to be able to come back and win. I mean, you just felt like we're going to do this.
At one point, BYU led by 19, but the Rams just wouldn't go away as they fought back to be within 6 with less than 5 minutes to go in the game.
We shot ourselves in the foot in the first half. I mean, come back from 15 against a team like that is just tough, You got to play them closer in the first half and got to kind of get them under control,
Sophomore guard Wes Eichmeyer tallied a career-high 25 points against the Cougars in the offensive showdown.
Well, Wes was in all the right places early in the year. He just missing wide open shots. I mean, Wes was just missing wide open shots. and now he's making shots, you know.
Jimmer Fredette of BYU nearly doubled his average points per game, throwing down 42.
We allowed Jimmer kind of, it would be like the example of we're standing at the bottom of the hill, and he's just running at us, and we're trying to keep him in front of us and stop him.
Fredette became freshman Dwight Smith's responsibility on defense.
Well, it's hard, you know. It was interesting, you know. Last night at 11 o'clock, I'm just still watching some endgame stuff and some different games from BYU, and I get a text, right? It's Adam Nygaard. Coach, I really think we got to look at Dwight tomorrow. The kid hasn't played 9 games, senior captain. And now Adam Nygaard knows at 11 o'clock when he's sitting there thinking about the game that if Dwight plays, who's he going to play for, you know? Chance he might play for Adam, and you know, we exchange back and forth. I just think he's got great edge. I think he's going to do something tomorrow. And I said we had talked about that as a staff too. And that's a, you know, when you've got kids like that in your team, character like that, I'm proud of that. And certainly disappointed with the loss, but you know, we'll figure out the rotation as it goes.
Yeah, basically, it's just my role is just to come in, give a good spark. I came in, me and Greg traded off Garden Jimmer. It's just a big thing with me and Greg. We both hold ourselves to that. So
Smith put up a huge block against Fredette, knocked down a tray, and as Coach Tim Miles put it, he was the catalyst that got the Rams and fans going in the second half.
This team will not be embarrassed. This team will not quit. This team will not stop. They will fight you.
After a hard-fought game, the number 9 Cougars came away with the 94-85 win.
You have to credit BYU. They're a terrific, terrific basketball team. They've got an exceptional talent. I think they're not very deep, but they've got 5 or 6 guys that are excellent, and then they've got a potential Player of the Year candidate in Jimmer Fredette. And you know, they're hard to get under control, and I thought they did an outstanding job tonight because they beat us in a lot of ways. When we started getting stops, they beat us on the glass. A couple times they turned us over, you know, and that's the mark of a good team, a team that expects to win. And so you have to give credit to BYU.
Enough about the men's team. Coming up next on the show, I speak one-on-one with Bonnie Barbie of the women's team. Not only that, but you get to meet this week's Spirit Squad member. Stay tuned.
You are watching RSM, the Rams Sports Magazine Show on Northern Colorado 5.
Welcome back to the show, Rams fans. This week I'm joined by Allie Malcolm of the Spirit Squad. Now she's a junior, this is her first year cheering, and this past Saturday it was a sold-out crowd at Moby Arena. Tell me, what was that environment like?
Oh, it was insane. It was awesome. Every single seat was filled. People are going crazy, everybody in white. It was just a really great experience.
Does that put a lot of responsibility on the cheerleaders' shoulders?
Oh, it does. We have to definitely be on our A game more than any other time. We're just instructed to stay smiling the whole time, which is easy when you're in Moby and it's going crazy in there.
Again, crazy environment. I mean, it was just the Rams just trying to fight back the whole time.
Definitely.
In your mind, how do you feel like they played?
Oh, they played incredible. I mean, BYU's number 9, so it was just an incredible thing to watch. Rams stayed up, you know, the whole time, gave it a really good fight. So it was really exciting to watch.
It's got to be fun for cheering for a team that, you know, can actually play out there.
Absolutely.
One of the big things that people may have noticed at the game on Saturday is there was only 1 male cheerleader now. So you guys had 3 last semester. He's a new member.
Yeah.
What does that do to the team, losing some of your members?
Well, you know, just every semester, losing members of any team is hard. So we just kind of worked through it and gave new groups, and it was really awesome. He's great. He's picking up really well with all the cheers, so it's really nice to have somebody that's just really excited to be out there with us.
What's that like, taking on the teaching role with new kids? Is that fun for you? Is it challenging?
Oh, absolutely. Well, and you know, being at the collegiate level, everybody's pretty much up to the speed where we need to be, so it's more fun to just get them involved with the team and just get to know them as a person.
Another thing about the men's games this year, they're all televised. They're all on the mountain, so constantly the cheerleaders are main focus. What's that like, being on national TV?
Oh, it's so exciting. You know, just getting dolled up to go to a game and just being in front of a crowd. I mean, we really try not to think more about the TV and think more about our crowd and who we're standing in front of and supporting our Rams. So.
And it's your first year as a cheerleader, so what's your experience been like so far?
Oh, it's been incredible. Watching the volleyball girls just do incredible this year, not much champions again, so it's always fun, and I love basketball, so it's just an incredible experience getting out there.
How do you feel the men's team is going to finish up this season? Think they'll hit the NCAA tournament?
I'm really hoping for the tournament. If they go, hopefully we're going to go, so it would be awesome if they did, and they're playing really well, so we're just hoping for the best.
Now this Wednesday they're taking on Air Force.
Yeah.
It's an in-state rival, so you know that's going to draw another big crowd.
We're hoping to pack it up again.
What's your experience with the in-state rivals so far this season?
Well, you know, my first game cheering ever was at Invesco against CU, so any in-state rivalries are awesome to be at, and it's really fun to just see everybody out there, and you know, it's just a little bit more intense when you have an in-state rival going on.
So you were really thrown into the fire. I mean, with the CU-CSU, that was a huge game, and then throughout the season, all the success the teams have been having. What's the learning curve been like for you?
Well, we practice a lot in the summer, so we pretty much knew all our basic information, but I think the biggest learning curve was just being, you know, going from the high school crowd to a collegiate crowd, which is way bigger. So it was, you know, just doing that was probably the biggest thing.
Final question, Ram Pride, what's yours like?
Oh gosh, Ram Pride through and through. I love my Rammies. I bleed green and gold, so it's awesome. I love it.
I like hearing that. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Good luck cheering this Wednesday.
You're watching RSM, the Ram Sports Magazine Show on Northern Colorado 5.
This week from the ladies team, I'm joined by Bonnie Barbie, who's no stranger to starting, but this season got her first start against BYU, had 12 points, you know, double digits. How'd that game go through your eyes?
It was a little disappointing when they came out in the second half so strong and we didn't really reciprocate with the same strength. And we were very much involved in the ball game up until I got that spurt, and then after that we never really recovered. So it was that first, I think, 10-0 run that really just kind of buried us, I feel as though.
Definitely. That second half, do you think a lot of it has to do that your bench, you're only 3 players deep?
You know, honestly, I don't think the 8 players has a whole lot to do with it, because a lot of teams only rotate, have a rotation of about 8, so 3 in their deep in their bench. Granted, it's nice because they do have more if they have reserves, but I think we can play it out with 8, and just we have to kind of stay more focused and locked in throughout the whole 40 minutes.
So really, I've been talking to a lot of the other girls. It's, you know, you guys are in great shape, so you know you're not feeling too exhausted by the end of the game. Is that what you're essentially saying?
Yeah, some players are a little tired, like me, that I've not been getting as many minutes, but I've been working on my conditioning and getting up to par. So in reality, I feel as though nobody is overly exhausted, and we're all able to try and contribute as much as we can every second of the game.
Definitely. Now this is your senior season, so what does this season mean to you?
You know, it's the end for me, and you want to go out as hard as you can, and with the best year that you've had so far, and the best effort, and the best team camaraderie, and just an overall great, hard-working year.
Do you have any personal goals for yourself for this season?
I would like to go to the NCAA.
Definitely.
That's been a dream ever since my first word was ball. So I would really like to get a bid into the NCAA.
And it's definitely doable. I mean, you guys have been doing great in conference play. You're kind of reaching that midway point. What do you think you're going to have to do to get to that NCAA tournament?
Winning the conference championship is the ultimate goal for our team, and then that would give you a direct bid into the NCAA, and then also I believe you have to have a 500 winning record as well. And with that
biggest challenge might be those Wyoming girls coming back, but this time they're going to be here at Moby. How do you think that game's going to go?
I think we'll definitely will remember that last game. Nobody likes a 40-point loss. It's embarrassing. And I think we will definitely try and prepare better and make sure we're more focused and more of competition for them.
Looking towards the near future, we've got Air Force coming up tomorrow. And how are you feeling heading into this game?
This team's tough. They've always been a team that never gives up and is always a hustle team, and we have to come out prepared and hustle just as much as they will, or it's anybody's game. As I mentioned earlier, a team that comes out with more heart or more will sometimes take down the best teams.
But hey, the Rams still got the heart and the will, so you're going to show it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do road wins mean more to you?
I love home games personally, just because of the fans, and there's something about your home territory. But road wins are nice because it's when it's like you against the world or the arena, therefore. But it's just nice to pull a win on somebody else's court.
Very true. Well, Bonnie, I want to thank you very much for joining us on the show. Good luck against Air Force. Good luck with the rest of the conference, and I hope you reach that goal of getting the NCAA tournament. That'll do it this week for RSM, but I'll have plenty more for you next week when the Rams take on yet another top 10 team here at Moby Arena. We'll catch you next week, Rams fans.